What's he promoting now?
He's got a wrestling event going on. Poor Hulk is wrestling again.
No.
Hi, Paul.
Hey there.
I called him Hike.
Hey,
Hulk.
Hike.
I'm out of my mind, man. Hulk.
Yes, sir.
You had spinal fusion for 9 hours.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
Yeah. No, 12 hours.
12 hours.
Recently?
It was back surgery number 8.
Oh, jeez.
Because, wrestling has...
While it's fake, the injuries are real.
The injuries are real.
Here we go again.
It's a performance.
Here we go again.
I've come to understand that wrestling is a performance.
Yes,
that
it is. Like boxing.
Demanding on the body and cruel to the body, like football is. Because you get slammed.
Chairs pounded over your back.
Yeah. So
just because the ending is predetermined, and when Howard and I wrestle, everybody knows that Howard's going to beat me with a sleeper.
That was so great.
That just because we know who's going to win, that doesn't mean what happens during the match is fake. Because I've never had a match where I didn't get hurt. I'm going to show you one picture, but I'm not going to give you my phone because if you scroll through my pictures, wow.
Naked pictures.
Brother.
Who's in your phone that's naked? Seriously.
Who do you think?
Your
His
wife.
girlfriend.
Bubba, of course.
Oh, Bubba.
No. I'm going to show you one picture, but I would love to give you my phone, but if I do, wow, it wouldn't be good.
You got an iPhone. Wow. And look how big your hands are. How do you type on that thing? I don't think you can. Can you actually type a text on there?
Yes, I can send you a text.
With thumbs as big as yours?
Yes, sir.
Look at the size of this guy's hands. Boy, I wish I wasn't such a pussy.
This was 7... No, I'm not giving you the phone because you'll take it from me.
All right, let me see.
This was 7 months ago.
Oh, my God.
What do you see?
Back. I see a back
I got
filled with holes.
one more left. See that thing
disgusting.
in the corner?
Yeah.
That's a battery.
In your back?
Yeah, and I got to get that taken out. And the wires go from the battery up the middle of my back to the steel plate this year.
Jeez.
So let me ask you something.
That was number 8, though.
Then why would you... did you run out of money? I got to figure a guy like you made hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, he had that divorce.
I had the divorce. I had the civil case where they sued me for $60 million.
Why are you... Let's go into that. Why are you wrestling again? Is it for the money?
No, I'm not wrestling. It's the main event. It's Bound for Glory, the pay-per-view. It's
Bound for Glory.
It's the biggest pay-per-view that we do with Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
And
this has nothing to do with Vince McMahon?
No. He's got another company that's been around for 70 or 80 years.
Is he angry with you that you're working for another company?
I don't think so. I think he would love to have nobody else nipping at his heels.
Right.
To tell you the truth.
Are you guys nipping at his heels?
No. He does PG wrestling.
Right.
Which is, he's got the big advertisers and he's got the monster multi-billion-dollar company machine rolling down the road. We're doing, we focus more on the wrestling stuff.
Has he ever called you and said, why are you competing against me? What are you doing to me? Because he strikes me as a guy who wants to own the world. In other words,
we've had
no
phone calls in the past where, there's been differences of opinion.
What's the difference of opinion?
Yeah, what is
your opinion is you should have more money, and his is you should have less.
Well, that's the only thing we ever argued about was
money.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people, including people that work with Vince, think I should have stayed there my whole life. Started there and worked for Vince's dad in the late 70s, and I should have ended my career there, but I kind of did some other stuff, worked for Ted Turner and Eric Bischoff, and I'm working for Dixie Carter over there.
Is your opinion of your own career, you are, I would think, I don't think anyone would argue this, you are the biggest wrestler of all time. In other words, you were the most famous. You were the only wrestler ever appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yes, sir.
So you were the biggest wrestler of all time. And your point to Vince is, you know what, I'm not complaining, I made a lot of money with you and all this, but you probably don't treat me now with the respect I need. True?
You know what, the honest truth, to cut through all the crap.
Right.
Late 80s, early 90s, when all of a sudden the government focused on wrestling with the steroids, that was something that kind of pulled the whole business apart.
Right.
And it was time for me to move and do something else, so I went and partnered up with the Baywatch guys and did Thunder in Paradise for a couple of years, and Ted Turner's group happened to be on the sound stage next to me in Orlando, so I kind of started talking with them. Never was going to get back into wrestling again, but they made me an offer I couldn't refuse, so I worked for Ted and Eric Bischoff for 7 or 8 years. But at the end of the day, it just naturally, the way the government came after the wrestling business, kind of like how they're coming after football and baseball and everything else, it just wasn't a comfortable environment for anybody, so I kind of just went my own way.
You estimated that you've gone through hundreds of millions of dollars of your money?
Well, I made a lot of money in the business.
You made a ton of money in
Yes,
the
sir.
business. Are you upset with yourself that you didn't understand the value of that money and that you didn't understand how to handle your money? Because you were spending out of control.
Well,
Right?
I mean, it takes two to tango. You know, my wife and I were, you know, I actually, before I went to Ted Turner, was going to retire from wrestling.
Right.
And, you know, we were all set with a beautiful home, and then there were some decisions made to build
A monument, a monster.
yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Right,
yeah, and so, you know, it's like I was one of these guys that always didn't want to spend what I saved, so I said, let me go back to work to pay for this, that, and the other. And it just steamrolled, and instead of retiring at 38 or 39 years old, I wrestled into my 50s.
A guy getting into wrestling now, would your first advice be, you know what, take a business class. Learn how to understand money and understand finances, right?
Well, I was set until, you know, the divorce happened, until the civil case happened.
The civil case drives me crazy for one reason. I understand your son screwed up with this boy that he knew died in the car and all
No,
that.
he didn't die.
He didn't die. He was injured. He was
Yes.
badly injured.
Yes.
How the hell do you end up paying? Is it $60 million?
No, that's where we started.
Okay. Is it settled now?
Yes.
It is all settled.
Well, how does the child get the car?
Well, the kid was what? Your son was 18, wasn't he?
No.
He just turned 17.
But he had a license.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
But he had a license. He's still a minor.
but yes, but if a kid, let's say your kid goes out and
In Florida,
drives.
you can drive when you're 16.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make you
He was legal.
responsible.
But
for
wait a
anything.
second, Robin, here's my point. If our laws are set up that if you have a child and the child is allowed to drive at 16, all right.
You're
not gonna
the parent, and you say, "I think my child is capable of driving at 16
come on,
or
how can
not."
you? So you assume your kid's a good kid. In fact, everyone thinks their kid's a good kid, and he's able to drive, and your son was a capable driver.
It
let's
comes
say-
down to this.
Why
At the
do
end
you
of the day,
have to pay?
It comes down to this. Normal John Smith or Joe Blow, son gets in a car wreck. The insurance settles with
Right.
whatever the problem is. If it's Howard Stern or Robin or Hulk Hogan, and your child gets in a car wreck, not only does the insurance settle, but guess what? There's a civil suit because
Right.
you're a celebrity. That's what it's all about.
So why doesn't the court say, well, Hulk wasn't driving the car. There was no maliciousness here.
It was an accident.
It was
You're
an
right.
accident. So we're going to wipe Hulk Hogan out?
Well, I'm just glad it's all behind us. I'm fine now.
You're
I'm
okay with it?
Yeah, I'm back working. I got a bunch of projects going. I'm remarried. You met Jennifer.
Beautiful girl.
Loves you.
How's the sex life going with her?
With Jennifer?
Seriously. I mean, you've been with her now, what, over a year?
Well, who else you having sex with? You say
No.
with Jennifer.
No, what I'm saying is...
No. Hulk just said,
Well,
the
man,
sex
you
life
obviously
with
Hulk
Jennifer.
has-
I knew I was going to go down this path with you guys, but I didn't know you were now on the same team with him.
Well, obviously Hulk has multiple women. All right,
No, I
don't bust
don't.
him.
No, I don't.
Well, Robin's right. You did say with
Look,
Jennifer
who
or
else
which
are you
one?
having sex with?
Me and Bubba and Jennifer, okay?
Right.
He's my other lover.
What is going on, first of all? Forget the sex for a second. What is going on with Bubba the Love Sponge? I really
Have
adore
you
the
been
guy.
involved in
I
this?
love working with the guy. Bubba is now divorced.
I
Or
think
on
he's
his way.
going through it. Well,
What happened there?
You know what? At the end of the day, I got my opinion
Yeah.
about this. First off, I hope they get back together.
Really?
Because if you really know Heather and know how nice of a person she is, and you see how the dynamics of their family, she had a beautiful daughter named Julia, which she still has, of course.
Right.
And Bubba's son, Tyler. I mean, they were like, Bubba was this great father to the kids, and Julia and Tyler are like normal brother and sister. I mean, they had the most beautiful family. When I went through the divorce,
Yes.
I actually stayed on the far end of their house in their spare bedroom because I had nowhere to stay for a few months.
Wow.
I was mentally out of my mind, rattled over all the craziness. And just to watch their family, how beautiful they were. I could hardly even watch it in the morning. It was killing me. They were so.
So what
such a
the hell
beautiful family.
happened?
I think that they grew apart. I feel that with Bubba working 18 hours, 16 hours, he's building a huge another studio. He just bought a racetrack. And I think that Bubba works so hard. I think sometimes, when someone's gone so much that it kind of like people go in different directions. And then if there's any of these divorced women on the backside talking, it's easy to undermine some guy that's working 12, 14, 16 hours a day.
Well, so was there any cheating involved?
I have no idea.
Oh, you have an
seriously-
idea.
No, I don't. I seriously doubt it.
Right.
But
now, Bubba was tweeting weird stuff. He didn't show up on the radio the other day, and he was tweeting these cryptic messages about the feds and also to her. Wait till Howard finds out about everything. And it was very wild stuff he was tweeting yesterday, and I can't get a hold of him. What do you think this is all about?
Well, I think that as soon as everybody breaks clean and goes to their separate corners and takes a breath, I think they're going to end up back together.
Will you intervene? Listen, he respects you more than anybody. You're like his hero.
You know what? I don't want to get in the middle of it, but if I could be a fly on the wall and say, Heather, what the hell's going on?
Right.
Bubba, what the hell's going on? I would love to see them together. They had such a gorgeous family.
Is there a chance that it could happen, that they'd be back together? Or is this really over?
Well, I know they're not talking.
Oh.
You know?
That's not a good sign.
No. Yeah, but there's the mad, sad, glad, that thing you go through, you know?
Right.
And, I mean, I just think that when both of them realize that what a good thing they had going, hopefully they'll come back together.
I see. So you don't know, like I don't know?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I can't hardly get a hold of Bubba. I'll call him 15, 20 times, and maybe I'll get one response.
If Heather came on to you, she's a beautiful woman. Let's say you didn't have your beautiful wife. You're married now, right? To your girlfriend.
You're horrible.
Would you ever fuck Heather?
No.
You would not?
No. Man law, brother.
You would honor that man law.
Yeah. Even if they were divorced for 10 years.
You would never fuck
She's
Heather.
off limits
Or if I met your ex-wife, simply because she was
You
your
wouldn't
ex-wife.
fuck my ex-wife?
No way.
I love you, man.
No,
Thank you.
That's man law, bro.
I love that you understand that.
You don't do that.
I meet so many guys who are feminine and don't understand this.
You don't do that.
You
crap.
are one of them.
What?
You'd have sex with Heather.
I would, yes. But
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I'd fuck Heather. Sure.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, Bubba.
Oh, my God.
If the circumstances are right, I'm drinking.
My God.
It's late at night.
Oh, my God.
I might accidentally put it in her.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I wish I was half the man you were.
There are no rules.
No.
There are.
Listen, you were almost my father-in-law. That daughter of yours,
She's still crazy about you.
If I had not been with my wife, I would have dated her. I love your daughter.
Brooke's 23 now. She still talks about you.
She's old enough for me now. 23 is the right age.
She's getting crazy shape, too.
Is she?
Crazy shape.
Listen, you talk about spending money. You must have pumped, I don't know how many millions into your daughter's career. You love your daughter. I know you do. Was it worth it in the end? Should a father really do that? I was wondering about that. Like, let her go do her thing. You pumped a tremendous amount of your personal fortune into that, and you need that money. I'd rather see you not wrestling or even involved in that and just retiring and relaxing. Should you have done it in retrospect?
Well, she started when she was 13.
Right.
And, you know, as soon as everybody goes, oh, actually, Bubba,
Right.
you know, heard her sing, Bubba stirred it up. Oh, we got to get her in the recording studio. So we went to T-Rex or T-Pain or T. Jones or one of his
Right.
One of those T's.
buddy guys.
Right.
And they did some recording, and it was really cool. And the next thing, you know...
Well, that's where Bubba runs into trouble. He cares about a racetrack. He goes and he buys one.
Yeah.
He gets caught up in businesses.
Yeah, so then Bubba said, oh, you need to call this Lou Pearlman guy. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we went over there to Orlando, and, you know, she got the dancing and the singing lessons and released the first single with Lou, and it went on the singles, which I don't know if that means anything.
Right.
When you release a single, it went to #1 on Billboard for 8 weeks.
So it was worth it then?
No.
It wasn't. There was no return.
Then we got ready to release the album.
Right.
And Lou says, it was a joint venture. He goes, I can't, I'm out. And I said, why? He goes, because your wife wants to fire everybody, and she's, I'm just a management company. I'm not a record label. I'm not a distributor. I'm not this.
It was too much for him.
And Linda was like, man, those people, get rid of them. And it was insane. So Lou walked away.
It's such a shame that you and your ex-wife couldn't just have an amicable divorce. I mean, it is. It still goes on to this day. She wrote a book. She accused you of fucking guys.
Dude,
Really?
Wait a minute.
I didn't read the book.
Hold on.
I'm telling you, it's wild stuff. Is anything in her book true?
Yeah.
It is. Oh, okay.
There's a couple things.
All right.
But the weird thing was I wasn't going to read the book.
Right.
But then all of a sudden my lawyer said, you have to read this book because there's certain things says, okay, fine.